Femtanyl Reactor. Femtanyl released Reactor 2024 EP, 6 songs, a few of which were singles before the EP was released, along with 3 new songs. Femtanyl is a digital hardcore creator from Toronto. Femtanyl has been blowing up recently in the past few years. Only less than 20 songs and yet 800,000 monthly listeners. If you're chronically online, you've definitely heard of her before. If you're on the internet, on like electronic EDM type of music, anywhere in that broad genre, you've heard about her music before. It's like digital hardcore is a perfect genre to describe what she makes. And as well as like webcore, and I feel like there's a couple others in there, like kind of especially in this album, there's a lot more like vibrant, ravey kind of music that goes into this. It's super exaggerated, punchy, hard, fast, with like these chopped up like yells in the background. I'm super excited to do another review on one of her EPs. I think there's one called Chaser that I'm gonna do one on in a little while. But Reactor was the most recent one, so that's why I'm gonna cover it today. And it has 6 songs, with a few of them released outside of the I think Dinner and Weightless both released about a year before the EP was released. And I feel like I'm gonna get into this a little bit more, but you kind of can tell that those two are like fit outside of the rest of the songs in the EP. I'm gonna cover that a lot more later. But you know, all the songs kind of do fit into this, you know, Femtanyl style, digital hardcore style, vibrant, ravey style music that Femtanyl makes. And it starts out with this song called It's Time, which is my personal favorite, which is an immediate banger to start the EP off. It's my personal favorite on the EP, and it immediately shows the audience, you know, that digital hardcore, rave styled, hyper pop, webcore, whatever it's called. That's the Femtanyl is known for. It has these vocal chops that just yell out with the beat. You know, it grabs and forces your attention onto them. And the song, you know, it won't let you ignore any aspect. This thing has like you know, most Femtanyl songs, you know, have like 8 or probably 10 layers, you know, of fucking like samples and drums and like synths in the studio. It blends into this way that just, you know, makes Femtanyl such a talented artist. You know, it sets the standard very high for the next few songs. The song itself is kind of like it's digital hardcore, right? But it has these like I don't know. I think I've been using the word vibrant rave because that's kind of what it feels like. You know, punchy, light synths that just blare out. So it's a great song to open the album. And it goes into Weightless, which slows down the pace of the album, coming off of Its Time, while still kind of keeping that, you know, hardcore feel. It has these ethereal, echoey vocals in the background. These funky synths that make the majority of this song. And you know, this and actually the next song, Dinner, kind of just feel like a little bit more low-key, low-key compared to Femtanyl, right? And I didn't really like this song at first, but the more I listened to the EP, the more I actually kind of appreciated Weightless and just like how well made and well produced it is. The feeling that the song gives off of like kind of just transcendence, sort of, in a way. Dinner is my least favorite song on the EP. It's really good still, just, you know, out of all of the songs, it's my least favorite. It's a little bit simpler, right? Simpler compared to other Femtanyl songs, right? Has these crushed vocals on top of the beat with these chaotic, aggressive bursts of singing kind of in the center of the song, which felt like still in tune. It still felt like it kind of led the direction of the song without making it too off course. And this like saxophone part at the end of it, which really spiced things up, and it created this really cool jazz fusion, which I just loved. Now I do have to say, like I said, Dinner and Weightless, they do feel a little bit more out. It kind of seems in a way that since these 2 songs were released before the rest of the songs on here, Femtanyl kind of just like put them in here kind of like as a way to not rebirth them, since they're already really popular songs themselves, but kind of just to give them a place on the EP, kind of just give them a place on an EP in general, since they were on one when they were released, which isn't a bad thing, but it is kind of noticeable when you listen to all the songs besides these 2. They kind of just give off this other type of feeling that Weightless and Dinner don't, which isn't, like I said, it's not bad, it's just kind of noticeable. Me and Mine has Danny Brown on it. They kind of did a feature swap right there. Femtanyl was on Danny Brown, Danny Brown on Femtanyl. Oh, I think actually Femtanyl, the Reactor released before Stardust, so the reverse order, but still. And Femtanyl makes great work of chopping up his voice. It's kind of like the last third of the song that Danny Brown's featured on, and the song already was really good before Danny Brown even already got on it. It just made it even better, and it goes really nicely, kind of as like a cherry on top of the beat. Attacking vertically keeps the same flow, and it has this kind of robotic, synthetic voice that goes over the top. It kind of adds these like nice vocals, because in a lot of the other Femtanyl songs, it's more of a bunch of different chopped up. It'll have like 3 different like chopped up vocals that'll go in different spots of the song. This one has the same one that continuously goes over the full song, and I feel like that's really nice. Not to mention, it's just a really like vibey, it's just a really groovy song. And then it ends with "And I'm Gone." Starts out, with these aggressive yelling, hyper beats, super fast, right? But it slows down towards the end of it. It slows down a bit. It keeps the hyper beat, but the vocals and the yelling, it stops and it kind of goes down for this calmer samples, but still keeping the hyper beat. And I feel like that was kind of like on purpose, kind of bringing you down from the hyperactivity of this album down slowly, bringing you calmer and calmer until it gets this guitar amp sample that kind of just, it feels a little bit out of place. And it was just this unexpected ending to the album, which actually I liked. I thought it was good. It diverted my expectations in like a really good way. And it has this like more of like an ethereal, overarching vibe to it from the synths and these vocal chops. It's short, it's sweet, it's wrapped up nicely. So with all of that, I'm giving Femtanyl's Reactor a low 9 out of 10. I love this album. It's just super, it's really well produced. There's just very small little things I didn't like about it, like Dinner and Weightless not exactly seeming like they fit in super well. There's sometimes I just felt like there was a little bit too much happening, which obviously is the, brand of the genre, right? So I can't really, deduct that much for that. I only see things going up with Femtanyl. I feel like we're still just at the near beginning of Femtanyl's time as a producer, as a singer, and I just, I can't wait to do it again. I'm gonna do Chaser, right? That one released a little bit further, but I can't wait for the next one. I'm looking forward to all of her future releases. So, Lamalu out.